Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the BeBalanced Pismo Beach podcast. I am joined today by our amazing founder, Dawn Cutillo. She is all the way in Pennsylvania. We're Zooming her in this morning. And I just wanted to say thank you so much, Dawn, for joining us. We're so excited to have you on here and get a little bit more about the history of BeBalanced, why it all started. But I just wanted to welcome you. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Sophie. I'm super excited for this talk today.
Thank you. Thank you. Me too. Well, I would just love to just briefly get a quick background on you and how BeBalanced was born.
Well, actually, Sophie, that's a good question because I felt, and I think a lot of women agree with me, there was a need for it because women were struggling and they weren't able to lose weight even when they were dieting and exercise. So I grew up in the 80s, I'm dating myself here, but we used to diet, exercise, everything would work. But as I got a little older, I went to college. I knew that I wanted to go to school for something that would help women, maybe weight loss. But I'm like, what do you major in? They didn't have alternative medicine back there. It's not like you could specialize in weight loss. So I went to school and got my degree in nutrition and health and physical education. I took it non-teaching. And then I wanted to specialize in corporate wellness because that was actually a real, like a job back then, right? And specialize in that. But then I got more interested as time went along, not just nutrition, but weight loss. And I worked for a really big health center, and I loved it. It was a fitness center. It had like 5,000 members, and I was in charge of a specific weight loss program upstairs, and I had my own special room. And I was in my late 30s then, and I started struggling a little with my weight. Eating good, I'm exercising. I started working with women in their 40s and 50s. They're really starting to struggle, and I'm watching them exercise daily. I'm watching them eat a good diet, maybe 1,200 calories, relaxation therapy, and they weren't getting the results. And that's why I was like, wait a minute, there's something else. And I started digging a little deeper. And that's when I met my former business partner who worked with me a little bit. He was a clinical nutritionist. He introduced me to a chemist. And we started going deeper into what is happening with hormones and weight. And that's when we started to make some of those changes that we started to see real results with women. And that's kind of how it started with me, like that, just that seeing the need firsthand and experiencing it myself, along with seeing women having other PMS and menopausal problems. I had some problems myself. And I thought, wow, maybe we can just do something natural that can help women with their weight and their hormone symptoms. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, there's, as we all know, huge need for that. We know, I mean, I could count on both my hand and more just the amount of women that I know who are eating super well and exercising aggressively, and they're not getting the results that they want. So it is definitely that huge, huge need. So I'd love to hear just kind of where, like, you have a center in Pennsylvania, correct? Okay.
Correct. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That was kind of like, we call it the flagship center. That was my first center. And that was right before we started franchising. And then we turned our name into BeBalanced. So the nice thing is when we started our franchise, well, I had years of experience, not only in the field. Now it's about 33 years that I've been in the field. But then it would have been like 25 years that I had been studying all this. And then for about 5 years before we started the franchise, I had been kind of beta testing and working with women with naturally balanced hormones. So we had all that information to make a turnkey franchise, and that's when we started the franchise. So yeah, it's been a while, but it's been fun too.
That's amazing. So I'd love for us to just clarify, because this is definitely all natural. We're not doing like hormone replacement therapy or bioidenticals. Could you just clarify that for our audience and just what the main difference between the BeBalanced program and what their other things are on the market with related to hormones?
Yeah, well, what I like to call the methodology that we do at BeBalanced is natural hormone balancing. So
Love
it's
that.
a little bit different. It's not replacing your hormones, it's balancing them. And you find a lot of people, I know, that don't really want to take heavy medications or drugs or maybe, a lot of heavy hormones. They'd rather just learn to balance. So the biggest difference, I think, that BeBalanced is, besides hormone replacement therapy, is first of all, we're weight loss. We focus on weight. We're specializing in weight. Whereas a lot of doctors are doing a great job just helping women like with replacing hormones and doing some balancing there, but they're not focused on weight. And sometimes with HRT, I mean, we've all seen it, you can gain weight. And so women, the first reason they go to their doctor is because they don't like what they see in the mirror. Plus they have symptoms.
Yeah.
So the way BeBalanced does this, and granted, you have to understand, Sophie, you know this, we have the time. Doctors are super busy and they have a lot to do. We have a little more time, kind of almost like a health coach, or
Yeah.
we're considered more specialists, that we can sit with a woman and talk to her more about what's her diet and lifestyle like. Because our first concern is looking at the hormone insulin to get blood sugar down and insulin back on track, right? That's important to prevent prediabetes, but also for weight gain, of course. But also then we look at cortisol. What's our stress level like? What can we do there? So once you get insulin and cortisol under control through diet and lifestyle and relaxation therapy, which is what we do,
Yeah.
once you get that, then you only have a little bit of balancing to do with the hormones. And then we gently raise progesterone with natural progesterone, use a certain technique that we call adrenal function, helps with adrenal function. So those two things together, getting the adrenal stress under control and then raising cortisol, those two things together will help balance a woman's hormones. So we are giving a little natural progesterone and some hormone precursors, like maybe a little DHEA, a little pregnenolone in some of our products, but we're mainly also focusing on lifestyle change and diet. And when you put the two together, you just get synergistic results fast. So women can lose weight and they get rid of all their symptoms, and we're doing it in a natural way. But it's fast, and women like that. And I think that's what kind of sets us apart from traditional weight loss or traditional HRT. And some women have been going either direction. We're trying to combine it now into one under BeBalanced roof, and it's been going great.
That's so fantastic. Yes, and it just seems like it, and I know it because I've done the program. I'm having clients go through the program, and it's just so much more sustainable than the traditional diet and exercise and other things that are out there, right? Because we're teaching lifestyle habits and just helping them to know what foods work best for their bodies so that they can not only achieve that weight loss initially, but be able to maintain it for a healthy lifestyle.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, that's key. So you hit on that point. Is we love that the weight loss is, somewhat dramatic, somewhat fast,
Yeah.
but yet it is fat, and that's important. People think, are you losing muscle? Or are you losing fluid?
Right.
Only if you're retaining fluid are you losing. But yeah, we also teach when we add foods back in after we've done a little bit more of the initial diet, we figure out if women have food sensitivities. And
Exactly.
that's really important because then they know what foods they can avoid and they can just eat a little bit smarter. And that's going to be better for their body and help them maintain their weight.
Yeah. I love that. That's what drew us to this program and wanting to bring it onto the Central Coast here in California is that there are so many of those like, hey, do this program, do that for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then you just go back to whatever it was you were doing. And then all the like old symptoms that maybe you got rid of, they just come back right away. So it's just really great to see this personally in the clients' lives and just truly how it changes their whole well-being and lifestyle for the long term. So
Yeah, I think that with BeBalanced, you'll agree that we're getting to the heart of what is the problem
yes,
and
yes.
underlying its hormones.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who is overweight has some type of hormone imbalance. We could
Right.
even just a little bit of insulin, cortisol, and it could throw off the other sex hormones as well. And with BeBalanced, we like to say we take the guesswork out of women's wellness because we work, of course, with men and teens too. But women over 35, 40 or tend to be the ones that come to us the most. We're taking that guesswork out of it. We're giving a protocol with some lifestyle change, diet
Yes.
relaxation, and then some state-of-the-art supplements. And when you put it all together with the support and the education, women are thrilled. That's why we're growing.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, it's so much more than just the weight loss. We're seeing women just getting rid of hot flashes, their night sweats, helping them sleep better, get their energy back, get their libido back. So that's also another huge part that we all love, that it's just so much more than, yeah, we lost 15 pounds in the first month, which is fantastic. But all these other symptoms end up, overshining that weight loss is like the bonus to all the other things that we're gaining back.
Definitely. Women want to look and feel their best. And that's something I
Yes,
always say. I
yes.
think women can look and feel their best at any age. And initially, what drives them in is maybe the muffin top. But later, they're like, what good is it if I'm thin if I don't feel good? So
Yeah.
they can starve themselves and try to lose weight or get surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But why not do everything together and
Exactly.
actually balance the body so you look best, feel best, and you age better, you age slower. And your bones, your skin, your hair, all the glands are controlling that. And that's the
Exactly.
key, just that anti aging effect that balancing your hormones has.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we love that. So can you just kind of give us an idea about like why we don't need to do any kind of like blood work or anything like that? I know we're all just like, we're working with natural supplementation, but that is a question that, you know, we all were thinking when we hear like BeBalanced hormone weight loss. Is there any testing that we need to do, or is this just all, I'd love to hear how that works.
Yeah, because that's a very common question. And it's a good question. We have sometimes doctors will ask our clients that when they go, or clients will ask us that. The reason being is the main thing we're doing is we're working with lifestyle change, diet relaxation, right? There's no problem with that. Then the supplements that we're given, the hormone, we're only really working with progesterone and some hormone precursors. We're not giving more the heavy duty hormones that some people call like the testosterone and the estrogen that, you know, long term aren't best to be on. So we're doing something natural. Anything else, is cleared. Any of our hormones given, even the progesterone, is cleared in 18 to 24 hours. So it's not staying around the system. It's like a multivitamin. You kind of keep taking it. So the way we tell if you have an imbalance is by an assessment. So everything's by asking you. You're different than somebody else. Individual questions, and most of the questions are showing progesterone deficiency or a little bit maybe of an estrogen deficiency or the adrenals being off. So we basically use all that information, and when you balance the insulin and the cortisol, the progesterone rises, and progesterone actually connects to estrogen. That's why we don't think that a lot of women really need estrogen, because when you bring progesterone up, the body can make estrogen and release it on its own. So everything's by your symptoms. That's the reason we don't need to test first. Does she have an imbalance? Yes, she does. And then the way we know that you're done and we don't have to post-test is because you look good, you feel good, you've lost your weight, your symptoms are gone. And then the method that we're using to get there is very natural, very safe, just using a little natural progesterone and some supplements, as well as some hormone precursors. Nothing's going to build up in the body that we have to be worried and test every 3 months or every 6 months or every year. So it makes it a lot less expensive for the client as well.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Now, I know we've been talking a lot about the ladies who are coming in, but this program is also for men too, yes?
Yes, definitely. What we do for men, I think testosterone therapy has been great, but for a while there, it's really been causing a little bit of an issue because some men, when they're older, I'll say this, I want to make a blanket statement, but some men, as they're older, when you become a little more insulin resistant, if you just take testosterone, it turns into estrogen. And that's not what men want. So what we do is help men preserve their natural testosterone. And I think everybody knows that high cortisol, high stress will drain testosterone. So by helping with insulin and sugar, getting those down, then the body can preserve its natural testosterone, and man will start to see that rise gently. We also have some supplements that can help lower something called sex hormone binding globulin. So that frees some more testosterone. So a man might have a testosterone level of 600, but only 300 is available. So we can free that. And it's already in his body, and it's a natural herbs we can use. So everything we're doing for men is more natural, but it's helping them preserve their testosterone as well as helping them lose weight, like lose that beer gut, because men are concerned about that as well.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. And it's great, you know, if husbands and wives can do the plan together, you know, they're changing their lifestyle together. It sometimes doesn't have to always happen them do it at the same time, but it is fun to see. I'm sure you've seen it as well. Just like couples coming in, changing their lives. It's like trickles down to their kids. Their moods are better. They're just like overall the household is lighter. And that's always an exciting thing to witness.
Yeah, we view that. I mean, that's perfect that you said it that way, because we view that as a butterfly effect. We have a butterfly in our logo, and we all know what the butterfly effect means. One little action could cause a reaction. So when the woman balances her hormones, there's a butterfly effect in her body. Her whole body balances out, and then it translates to her husband, even if he doesn't do the program, or her children. Because you're right, she's in a better mood, everything. So there is that true butterfly effect, and it actually goes out in the community. Could you imagine if every woman looked and felt her best, what that would do to the world? Men would love it, kids would love it, everybody would love it, the women would love it. So yeah, there's that balancing effect and that butterfly effect that is truly from coming from a woman who's really changed her life, and we love to watch that.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we do. Well, this has just been absolutely amazing. I just have loved talking with you and just getting this great overview of what the BeBalanced program looks like. It sounds amazing for men, women. Women don't have to be of that menopausal age. We can definitely help women who are premenopause and basically from like puberty on, correct? We can, work with ladies as young as 14, 15 years old?
Definitely. I
Okay.
work with girls right about that age. We always want a parent there, you know what I
Sure.
mean? And we're not
Of
doing anything with
course.
heavy drugs. So as long as the girl's open and definitely we can work from that age on.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So yeah, I would imagine like PCOS, endometriosis, those kinds of things, not just like PMS symptoms and the menopause. We can definitely work with on those other health challenges too.
Yeah, I will be honest with you, over the years, I mean, I use empirical evidence, which means you
Mm-hmm.
see something over and over again, and that's the basis for the scientific method. So
Yeah.
I've worked with thousands of women over the years, and yes, PCOS, PMS, PMDD, all
Mm.
these we do really well with. And then there are some conditions, we don't want to make overall big claims because we're not medical, but when you balance the hormones, the body balances out, and the women's periods aren't as heavy. There isn't the build up of that tissue in the endometrial tissue.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't the fibroids. There's connections of higher progesterone and balanced hormones with preventing breast cancer, things like that. I did a research study that we got published. So there's all those connections in there. So it's just a win-win for the woman. She looks better now. She feels better now. And it also prevents aging of the skin, the hair, when the hormones are balanced, the microcirculation, the bones for the future, and even disease prevention. It's tied into balanced hormones. We're not just saying that. The studies say high blood pressure, high blood sugar, female-related cancers, they're all related to imbalanced hormones. So if we can just balance them out, we can all figure out what that's going to do. It's going to help prevent some of these things in the long run.
Absolutely. So simple, but so profound, and just, it makes perfect sense. So, well, thank you so much, Dawn, for your time and for just sharing the balance with us. And thank you for creating it, because you filled this huge gap that we've needed for such a long time. So thank you.
I enjoyed it, and I just want to say, anybody out there, if you're thinking about it, we're excited to have you out on the West Coast. That we're starting a national move to become balanced.
Yes.
So join our national move to be balanced, and come on board, and you will not regret it. But thank you, Sophie, for your work, what you're doing out in California. We really appreciate it.
Oh my goodness, you're so welcome. If any of you watching or listening are curious about getting started, have more questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. You can schedule a complimentary consultation. Our website is BeBalancedCenters.com/Pismo Beach. Again, that's BeBalancedCenters.com/Pismo Beach. We look forward to meeting you and helping you through this journey. Thank you so much.